Hey everyone. So I hear this statement all the time from drivers. Uber and Lyft caps your pay. You're only ever going to make as much as they want you to make every day. So I've covered this a little bit in the past and I've touched on it, but I want to try and talk about it more today. And I want you to stop for a second and think about that just for a second and ask yourself what it would mean to how Uber and Lyft's algorithms would have to work. What would they have to sacrifice in order for that to take place? Ask yourself, what else might be happening and how can you avoid the trap? Plain and simple. Okay, I think a lot of drivers fall into a mindset trap, and we're gonna cover this topic today. We're gonna talk about, do they cap your pay? Why would they cap your pay? How would they cap your pay? And what exactly is the mindset trap and how you can avoid it and hopefully start making some more money? So let's dive into it. First, we have to agree on one thing. Uber and Lyft will always place company profits above all else. There's no doubt in my mind they'll always do that. Hopefully we can all agree on that. So with that being said, I've looked everywhere on the internet. Every AI, every search engine, everywhere I could find to see if there was any kind of evidence to show this to be the case. And I couldn't find anything. I mean, of course, like everything in life, there's your Reddit stories, but, I don't put a lot of stock in them. And when you think about it, one thing becomes very clear. It would make no sense for Uber or Lyft to do this. So what we're really talking about would be a daily ceiling limit that Uber and Lyft might place on drivers. And like I said, that makes no sense whatsoever. And I think what's actually happening is a combination of different things. Now, you can have your own opinion, and I welcome it. Please drop it in the comments below. But I want to go through and talk about what I think is going on. So I think let's say this. In order for a driver to make $300 to $400 a day in most markets, probably 90% or more of the markets out there, in order to make that kind of money, you're generally driving a 10 to 12 hour day, which means you're probably starting very early in the morning and driving straight through. Let's just go with easy numbers. Let's say you started driving at 6 o'clock. You're probably driving until about 6 p.m., okay? Maybe a little bit later, depending on if you're driving Uber and Lyft and how your 12 hours is calculated and stuff like that. So you're generally driving a full day. And you can agree with me or not, you're going to have very busy times in the morning. And then throughout the day, it's going to get progressively slower. You're going to get a little bit of a spike during the lunch hour, okay? During maybe from like 11 to 1. And then it's going to get slow again. And then it's going to pick up again and get busy until probably about 9 or 10 o'clock at night, depending on your marketplace. But we're talking, generalizations here. So we're talking most markets, okay? So first, let's think about this for a minute. What would Uber or Lyft benefit if they capped your pay at $300 or if they capped your pay at $400, whatever it may be? How would they benefit? So right off the bat, I could say they might benefit somewhat by spreading the wealth around or spreading the money around to a bunch of different drivers to try and keep more drivers on the platform at the same time to make wait times lower, okay? So I'll concede that fact that they might have, that might be an afterthought to Uber and Lyft. But I think their foremost thought is to get that passenger picked up as quickly as possible for the maximum amount of profit for them. And you may say, well, how do they do that? Well, there's all kinds of ways they do it. Okay, both Uber and Lyft in most markets have the wait and save feature, okay, which if you're in an area and somebody orders a Uber or a Lyft ride and you're only a mile down the road from them, I do suspect that they'll pull another driver who's further away to actually make that passenger wait. Okay? Because the last thing they want people to do is start ordering Wait and Save all the time, and that passenger doesn't have to wait. So I do think that they probably do that. Okay? But I don't think that has to do with capping your pay so much as it probably has to do with giving the customer what they paid for. Okay? And if a customer said they want to save $2, $3, $5, whatever it may be, because they're willing to wait, then they are without a doubt going to set it up so that that passenger waits. And that may mean pulling a driver from, 5, 6, maybe even 10 miles away if a driver's willing to do that. And some drivers are, let's be honest, some drivers are. Okay, so I think that's one thing that's going on. All right, so the other scenario, and I think this is much, much more likely, is it's just the natural fluctuations in demand. And I know a lot of drivers don't want to hear that, but I think it's true. And hey, I might be wrong, okay? I might be wrong. It's one of those things where I don't think any of us know exactly how the algorithm works. We all develop our own theories, and this is mine. It just is what it is. I think it's just a natural fluctuation that drivers have to, kind of go through, and that's pretty much it. People generally go out at the same time. They go to work at the same time. They go out to eat dinner at the same time. Most jobs start, like people leave to go to work at like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning because they need to be there at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. People tend to go out to dinner after they get home from work. So they get home from work around 5, 5:30, sometimes 6. They freshen up a bit and then they order an Uber and they go out. So, these peaks and valleys create the illusion of a pay gap or a pay cap when there really isn't a pay cap. What it is there are a lot of drivers coming out during those times. And yes, demand is high, but there's a lot of drivers out on the road and there's only so many passengers, okay? So you're seeing this natural ebb and flow as rides are ordered, and then there's a little bit of a cool down period. Now, don't get me wrong, you do have rides in between these really busy times. And, it can make a difference if you take them. I think a lot of drivers are kind of stuck in that mindset sometimes where they want to cherry pick themselves out of taking rides that maybe they should be taking. I don't know. There's a couple apps out there that can help drivers figure out what rides are worth it. GigU is one of them. It works on Android phones, but it doesn't work on iPhones. So, maybe that's something you might want to consider if you want to try and cherry pick rides a little bit better, is check out the GigU app. I don't know. So, I think the other scenario, and I think this scenario is much more likely, is it's just a natural, peaks and valleys that we all see when it's busy and then it slows down, and it's busy and then it slows down. I don't think that, there's some great conspiracy by Uber and Lyft to limit exactly how much drivers make from day to day or week to week. I think for the most part, they want to see drivers successful because they want more drivers on the road. And if drivers were to suddenly stop making money, or they noticed, hey, I only make $100 a day, no matter how much I work, that would not incentivize drivers to come out and work. There would be nobody driving if that was the case. So I think a lot of people may get upset with this, but it's really how I feel. I don't think they cap our pay. I think it's just by the time we have worked a 10 or 12 hour shift, a lot of us, if we're starting at 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, or even 5 o'clock in the morning, you're hitting your 12 hours between 5 and 7. And it might be that you're just, kind of getting towards the end of your shift during the slow time, especially if you're starting super early. I mean, I know drivers who start at 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. And, they're usually done by 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon because they're going to be over their 12-hour maximum driving time, and it's going to happen during a slow period. So why stay out? Is their theory. So it's something to think about. And that's why, honestly, that's why I'm a big fan of splitting up your day. I like going out in the morning, driving, taking a break in the middle of the day, coming home, eating lunch, and then going back out in the afternoons, because that's where I feel like I can maximize how much money I make from both apps, Uber and Lyft, because I can stretch out later into the night if I want to. And you always have that ability to turn off one app and save time on it to drive it later in the evening if you find out it's a super busy night. Maybe it's a Friday or Saturday night or some kind of holiday or something like that. So I think that's it for the most part. So to answer everybody's questions and touch on this topic yet again, I really don't think that they're capping our pay. I think it's just a natural ebb and flow of when passengers are ordering rides and how many drivers are online during those times. Okay, peak times for passengers are also tend to be peak times for drivers. Remember that. All right, so I hope this answers some questions, and go out there and make some money. And I really appreciate everybody supporting the channel and subscribing and all that stuff. I appreciate every comment. You guys and girls go out and have a great day. Be safe and make some money. And I'll see everybody in the next video. Thank you. All right, so as I mentioned before about avoiding the trap, what I primarily mean is avoid that mindset where you think it's a personal vendetta from Uber or Lyft to cap your pay. Okay. I don't think it's that they're capping your pay. I think it's just, like I said, the natural ebb and flows. And the way you fight back about that isn't really that difficult. Okay. There's a couple things you could do. Stick around, especially in the evenings, stick around the restaurants and the clubs and the areas that you have dropped a lot of people off at. You can go back to those areas an hour and a half, 2 hours later, and all those people who got dropped off in that restaurant area, they're going to be going home. Eventually, they're going to go home, okay? So just be patient and stick around those areas. When you take people to an area, you want to stick around that area because those people are going to be leaving to go home. When you take people to a business district to go to work, those people are going to be going home at some point. So kind of plan your day out to be in these busy areas. Use the use the heat maps. Use the maps on Uber and Lyft and kind of keep in mind where you've taken people throughout the day and what time they might be getting off. It's really not that difficult to do. I mean, it sounds silly and it sounds like it's almost intuitive, but I think a lot of us, including me, we forget these little things from time to time, okay? And we're real quick because we're spending so much money on fuel, on maintenance, on our vehicles insurance, on our vehicles, period, that, Uber and Lyft can be extremely stressful. So, at the end of the day, just kind of take a deep breath. And if you're like me and you've been doing this a long time, you kind of start to understand that, every day is pretty much going to be the same. Sure, every once in a while you might have a really, really slow day. But for the most part, you're going to be consistent and you're going to be okay. You just have to, plan out your days and kind of pay close attention to the areas you want to drive and the times that you want to drive. All right, y'all have a good one. Thanks.